Hey guys, Dislater Magic here, and it looks like Wizards decided to release a whole bunch of information lately, so let's get right into the news. That's how a normal human being says it. I don't speak gnome. First, let's start with Kaladesh. Hey, remember this artwork that was leaked like a long time ago, and by leaked I mean released on purpose? It turns out her name is Saheeli Rai. She's a Planeswalker, she must be pretty awesome because she's on a 6-cost sorcery. Oh boy, a 6-cost blue sorcery. I couldn't be more excited if I went into the bathroom, opened up the toilet, and out jumped a live tiger. So I wouldn't really call this a new mechanic, but it looks like just in general, the way of writing some of the spells in Kaladesh will be like a one or both type of effect. I mean, this could be a unique standalone card. It is a rare, you never know, but I kind of like optionality and I kind of don't. Now, Khans of Tarkir and the rest of the block was completely ruined by really 3 things. 1, the fact that there was fetch land, so you could fix your colors way too easily. 2, the fact that everybody was playing 3-color, and 3-color can just do too much. It's too flexible and it's too easy to sideboard your way out of anything. Magic has colors for a reason, people, and there's a reason you can't play 5 of them and just dominate. And the third reason was optionality in the charms and the commands. You can't just pull 1 card off the top of your deck and then have it do 4 things. That's kind of like having 4 cards. And yes, you did have to actually choose, but it was too flexible and too able to adapt to anything, which is what 3-color already was, so it just took it to the next extreme. So I'm thinking if they've got like an either or like a combination effect type of thing, it's probably not going to be as bad as it was back in Tarkir because we don't have 3 colors, so I'm okay with it as it sits. What I don't love about at least this 1 card that's been spoiled, and that's all we have is 1 card, I don't like that it's not Strive, it's not Multi-Kicker, it's not, Overload, it's not choose one or the other. It's like do both or just do one and then have overpaid for the spell, basically. I mean, I get it, but why would you pay for something that you're only going to half use? I don't think I can get past the mental aspect of that, even if my deck is built to run that way. You'll just never get over the thought of, it could have been better, it could have been stronger if I had a target for the second ability. I'd almost rather just have optionality, just pick one or the other, or escalate. I mean, escalate's just like another version of multi-kicker, basically. I think it was actually the best version yet. So anyway, next up we've got Chandra. We always knew she was going to be in the set because, well, she lives there. Allegedly, she's going to be called Chandra Torch of Defiance, and this is a lovely, pretty picture of her. Absolutely love the artwork. If any portion of that is on the card, I will buy it just for that. I do believe that Torch of Defiance is probably a reference to the fact that pyromancy is illegal in Kaladesh. But she's Chandra. She does whatever the hell she wants and doesn't care about other people trying to keep her down. Seriously, me and her could be brother and sister. And next up, and I was not able to independently verify this, but Dovin Bon I'll go with as the pronunciation. Why not? Well, Minister Bon, how about that? That's his actual title. Allegedly, he's a Planeswalker. I don't know if that came up in the storyline. I kind of skimmed it. He's got cool glowing eyes, so that's Planeswalker-y, right? So we've got Chandra, we've got Saheeli, and we've got Dovin or Mr. Bon, the big blue Vidalcan guy. Well, that's 3 Planeswalkers, and in case you didn't hear, there's a new type of product coming out with Kaladesh. It's going to be Planeswalker decks. I don't remember exactly what they're phasing out. I think it's dual decks, but these will come to your vendor in sets of 6, so 2 copies per of each individual unique Planeswalker deck. Now, this is messed up. The cards in the Planeswalker decks will be legal in Standard, but they won't be available in the booster boxes, or at least some of the cards won't. So the only way to get the cards is to buy the Planeswalker decks, which is crooked, stupid, and annoying, because why would you buy a deck just to disassemble it just to play Standard? Oh, but rest assured, Wizards of the Coast has your back on this one. You may be extremely worried, but you still will be after I tell you this. Quite a few weeks ago when this was first announced, some of the staff members, the PR person, whoever, somebody from Wizards, had released a statement saying something to the effect of the cards will not be competitive. So you won't feel like competitive professional Standard players will not feel like they need to buy them to construct their decks. Because the cards will just be like kind of fun and kind of fit in the Planeswalker decks, and you'll just want to play the Planeswalker decks against each other. But they wanted the whole deck to be able to be brought to Friday Night Magic, so they just made the whole thing legal. So out of those 60 card decks, None of the cards will be competitive, they'll just be kind of fun novelty cards. Also known as almost word for word the way that the head of R&D described Collected Company in an interview. He then proceeded to call it one of the worst card mistakes and card assessments ever. But this time they got it. Second time's a charm, baby. They aren't going to put anything accidentally way the hell too powerful in any of these 3 unique 60-card decks. In other words, pre-order all 3. So anyway, it's not confirmed that these will be the 3 Planeswalkers in the 3 sets, but, it'd be cool if it was. I would totally buy the Chandra deck, and honestly, Saheeli looks pretty cool, and, why not? I'd buy the Dovahkiin deck, whoever that guy is. I'm just going to call him Papa Smurf. Oh, sorry, Minister Papa Smurf. Now, I should mention that in the first story, Liliana is actually in it, and she's obviously a Planeswalker. And then, really honestly, the rest of the Gatewatch might show up to work private security for like an event or something like that, if I remember skimming correctly. That's about it for Kaladesh news, although I have to throw in my 2 cents about what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to print cards that do something with artifacts. They're going to forget that clues are a thing. It's going to be a complete disaster. There's going to be an OP as balls deck. And then they're going to utterly refuse to ban a card. I mean, you really don't have to be Miss Cleo to figure that one out. I fully intend to be attacking you guys with 10/10 animated walking clues on X-Mage. Next up, we just found out what October's F&M promo card is going to be. It's another 6-cost blue sorcery because apparently Wizards has some unhealthy obsession with them. I, for one, like the red 6-cost sorceries. Mob Rule and Descent of Dragons, come on. The artwork is awesome. The card is pretty awesome if you can get it off. So yeah, why not? In November, it's going to be everybody's least favorite card, Fiery Temper. I absolutely hate this card because it's complete crap by itself, and in Madness, it's only about as good as other cards I've seen that actually cost 1. I do love that artwork, though. It's pretty awesome. Next up, we've got Modern Masters 2017 being confirmed. There was some very slight evidence that they weren't going to print Modern Masters 2017, but here it is. Strangely, it's coming out March 17th. I could have sworn these all come out in the summer, but hey, less time to wait, right? It's going to be 249 cards, which is spot on where you want it to be, and it's going to be released on March 17th, 2017. They're still not going to sell it to non-WPN stores, so they can go straight to hell as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'll read the exact wording so that you can make your own conclusions here, but the announcement says, Modern Masters 2017 edition takes players back to some of the most remarkable sets in recent history, representing everything from 8th edition through Magic 2014, including trips through Innistrad and Return to Ravnica. Featuring new artwork on a number of cards, every card in Modern Masters 2017 edition can be added to your favorite Modern format decks, but first enjoy a fresh limited experience that combines some of Magic's most iconic cards in new ways. Every box of Modern Masters 2017 edition contains 24 booster packs, each with 15 randomly inserted game cards. Seriously, they didn't even ironically put it in quotes. They literally wrote that. Anyway, including 1 premium card in every pack, making it perfect for exciting draft play. Now, the first time they mentioned limited, they just said limited, but then the second time around, they did say draft. So I don't think that leaves the window open for some kind of weird 6-pack constructed, but that would be, like, really expensive. So I find it interesting that early on they said Innistrad and Return to Ravnica were specifically included in this trip through Memory Lane or wherever the hell they put. I absolutely loved Return to Ravnica, but there aren't like a whole lot of cards in Modern that came from Return to Ravnica. There's some power. Like if you're going to build a brand new deck that nobody's seen, you might want to check out Return to Ravnica as far as Modern goes. But as far as like the top tier decks, there's not that much that people are saying, oh my god, we need to reprint this. There's none to go around. So that was a really weird choice. But then there's Innistrad, the place we just were. But of course, Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon had virtually no reprints from the original Innistrad. It actually might be 0, come to think of it. I mean, even Saint Traft was a little bit tweaked, and so was little Flippy Dude. So I'm looking forward to some reprints. I think it would be insane if they didn't print Snapcaster, so that'll be cool. And hopefully they really print it to death, because a lot of the cards that are getting up in the like 30 to 50 range in Modern really need to come back down. And finally, the last big update was basically where we're going after Kaladesh. It's a brand new plane, which is awesome, because I'm sick of returning to places that I wasn't playing Magic for. It looks like the new plane is Egyptian. Oh boy. I don't get why they're so obsessed with using like cultures and mythologies that already exist. Just make something up. You can make up some crazy stuff. Like if you look at video games where you know, like I said in the other video, you go into a video game, you fly off into space and go through a wormhole and you end up on a planet and you're like, oh my god, it's Space Japan. Great. How unbelievably creative. But then, compared to like any kind of book or movie or video game or anything that's based on a completely made up alien culture, and they're just better. I mean, they are arguably better, you know, it depends on the talent of the writer, but you can come up with some pretty nuts stuff. I mean, because then you're not bound by like the real actual history of a place. If you look at Star Trek, we've had both. I mean, there's planets where you're like, yeah, it's basically, you know, blah, culture from Earth. And some of the more creative episodes, you're like, whoa, that is such an interesting idea for an alien culture. Oh my gosh. I just find those to be better. But I mean, it is kind of cool to play like, you know, games based on like mythology, like, you know, God of War or something like that. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. Now, here's something you might not have known. The fact that we might be traveling to an Egyptian-themed world in the very near future was actually leaked on March 7th, 2016. Now, it's an awfully large thing, and I'm not going to go way into it, but I will say the following block may take place in a Viking-themed world, an Indian-themed world, a Mesoamerican world, a pirate world, a fairy tale world, they better not, a Wild West world, or a prehistoric world, complete with dinosaurs. And hopefully also Jeff Goldblum, maybe even as a Planeswalker. You cannot have dinosaurs without Goldblum. Now, from what I know, they tend to visit a new plane every other time and then revisit a plane every other time, and they've kind of expressed that they sort of wanted to do something like that. So who knows, maybe it'll be Kamigawa, maybe it'll be Dominaria, everybody wants that one. Laura Wynn and Shadowmoor, that would be fun. Alara, because, you know, I'm sure they're really eager to do a 3-color set again after they lost so many players and hit $1,000 decks. Or, of course, Ulgathra, the setting for Homelands, because people frickin' love Homelands. Oh, I just want to draft Homelands so bad right now every time I mention it. Or, of course, we could go to a plane that we've never heard of yet, like Fiora, Shalandar, Vryn, or Muraganda. I would prefer that instead of returning to one, honestly. If I had to guess, I'm placing my bet right now, okay? We're probably going to see Muraganda, and it's going to be dinosaurs. And I'll put a $1 bet on the 100-to-1 odds of Jeff Goldblum literally being a Planeswalker in it. So anyway, rest of the details on Egypt is April 28th, 2017 is the release date. It is called Amonkhet. And we're finally going to see Nicol Bolas there. Oh, boy. They mentioned something about the Trial of the 5 Gods, so we might have a little bit of like a Theros situation. That would be pretty cool. And they specifically mentioned strength, speed, and cunning, which means the different colors will probably have drastically different methods for killing each other. I love when they do that. In fact, remember the guilds when it was every 2 colors had a different way, like Extort and then whatever the hell the other mechanics were? I only care about Extort. And there's a little hint that the second set might have something to do with the afterlife, which would be pretty cool. I hope it's like an Anubis kind of thing. That would be freaking sweet. It's going to be 264 cards, which I'm always happy when it's above about 220-ish. And the pre-release is going to be April 22nd. The 3-letter symbol is, okay, try and guess it. It's called Amonkhet, and it's Egyptian. Okay, what do you think they spelled it as? That's right. AKH, you know, instead of ANK, so it would spell Ankh. Yes, I know Ankh has an H on the end, but still, an Egyptian Ankh, I mean, they really, really missed out on that one. So other than the fact that the MSRP is already announced to not be changing for the individual booster packs, there's not much more to say about Amonkhet. Oh, except that we actually do know the title of the second set in the block, and it's called Hour of Devastation. Don't know if it's necessarily Underworld themed, but it could be. They'll probably just rip off the 7 Plagues of the Bible, offend the crap out of pretty much everybody, and then get some free coverage on CNN. It's only going to be a 184 card set, so I will be ordering approximately none of it. There is absolutely no money in a 184 card set, and there never will be, so that's disappointing. Now, if you think I'm being kind of pessimistic about the general releases of MTG products, have you been following MTG product releases? Wizards tends to screw some things up. Let me just generalize it like that. After Fate Reforged and Journey to Nyx and Gatecrash, like Wizards is way overdue to screw something up. Although they did have a hilarious spelling error on the Monarch token. The freaking Monarch token in Conspiracy 2. I mean, how? Like, how? How did that happen? It's damn funny, though, and it doesn't really affect anything, so I don't care. It is hilarious. They can do funny crap like that all day. I don't care if it doesn't actually affect anything. So that's about all the announcements, spoilers, and other assorted craziness that I can tolerate for one day. But that's not the end of today's videos, because I had a boatload of caffeine this morning. So hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very shortly next video.